The term wildlife encompasses all uncultivated flora and undomesticated fauna. Wildlife is an important component of an ecosystem and provides the stability of different natural processes of nature. We are fortunate to have a rich tradition of conservation in Jammu and Kashmir, which is famous the world over for its lofty mountains, picturesque valleys, fascinating lakes, streams and rivers, lush green forests, and the rich biodiversity, which makes the Union Territory literally a paradise on earth. The richness of habitats and ecosystems adds to the diversity of our wildlife. The rare and endangered species found in Jammu and Kashmir includes the endemic red deer of Kashmir or Hangul, leopard, Pir Panjal Markhor, Kashmir musk deer, brown bear, Kashmir langur, and many more. Apart from this, wetland conservation reserves serve as primary habitat for several species of migratory waterfowl from Siberia, Northern Europe, and Central Asia during the winter months, which adds color and beauty to these wetlands. Wildlife conservation not only involves conservation of wild birds and animals, but also of microorganisms and non-living elements in the environment on which they depend. Every species has the right to live, and every threatened species must be protected to prevent its extinction. Government of Jammu and Kashmir has so far notified 37 wildlife protected areas spread over an area of 4,476 square kilometers, which is 9.9% of the total geographical area of the Union Territory of J&K, and comprises of 3 national parks, 13 wildlife sanctuaries, and 21 wildlife conservation reserves. Most of these areas serve as control areas for scientific research and biodiversity conservation, aimed to preserve the gene pool for future generations, apart from providing extremely important ecosystem services. Over a period of time, Wildlife Department has focused on management and conservation of wildlife and its habitat on modern lines. Animals anti-poaching squads have been constituted, control rooms have been established, awareness campaigns launched in and outside the protected areas. Monitoring and research are the basic tools for better understanding of nature, its functions, as well as to evaluate the conservation status of species and their habitats. Also, to evaluate the extent of impact of conservation endeavours so undertaken. Department therefore is regularly conducting monitoring of the population status exercises for important and flagship species. During the last decade, the issue of human-wild-animal conflict has emerged as the single most important challenge before the Wildlife Department, which has caused immense loss to human life. Sometimes retaliatory attacks result in killing of wild animals as well. Various measures are taken by the department to resolve the conflict situation and ensure safety and security of human life, property and welfare of animal in conflict too. Wildlife crime control has become a very important activity now. The wildlife trade is illegal, clandestine and against the provisions of international treaty obligations and has to be controlled. Government initiated number of significant steps in order to curb illegal trade. Earlier, department inventoried and evaluated the fur items and articles received from the erstwhile fur stockholders, and later the stocks were burned to ashes. This has been a very significant moment in the history of conservation of wildlife in Jammu and Kashmir. The Department of Wildlife Protection J&K is making efforts to come at par with national and international scientific standards as per the recommendations of National Board of Wildlife for Management and Protection of Wildlife. People all over the world are becoming more and more inclined to visit such wilderness areas in their quest to come close to the nature and enjoy the tranquility and bounties of nature and breathe in fresh and clean air.